So first of all, I think it's important to understand, there's one guy here understanding GS1. I think we need to understand when we talk about product identifiers, what are we talking about? Because there are several of them. And it's sad that the construction industry doesn't know GS1 better, because I think that they could have a substantial impact on the construction industry as a whole. And there is very often, let's say, discussions on different identifiers and why do we have to pay. I agree strongly with Gary that the cost of using GS1 is very low, extremely low. So I'm an advocate of GS1. I think it's massively important that we introduce them. In the Nordics, where I'm working, all merchants, all manufacturers, everyone uses GS1. It's not a discussion. And even now the government is mandating on the digital twin that you have to have a GS1 identifier. They're starting with the GTIN. You have to have it. And this is what we need from you. So that's a starting point. But then the conversation on product data, that's a second topic. And that conversation is much more complex, because we have building regulations. We have EU regulations, which is low volt directive, machinery directive, REACH on chemicals, construction product regulation. And we have already in place a technical language under these regulations. So whatever BIM is doing, you can't supersede and go over existing law. And this is why I'm also trying to advocate the work that has been done in CEN and ISO to develop the standard on how to develop properties. I mentioned it in the chat. And for any contractor, manufacturer, client, anyone, to have a common dictionary where we say color. What is color? Is it RAL code or NCS? So then you could say this is RAL for metal, outside, whatever, but there is a common language, and there is a dictionary that allows a machine to pick up a machine code to say this is color. So computers can understand what is what. And I think in this discussion we have today, there is a lot of existing knowledge. This knowledge is there. So it's a matter of how to get this knowledge into people. So in Europe, we have a standardization organization. It's called CEN. They have a digital group, which is CEN 442. This group has developed standards addressing our topics. So in these conversations, I hear that people are talking about left and right, but I think that we should look at what's done in CEN 442, which has an alignment with ISO because of the Vienna agreements, so that these standards is not only European, but global. So the discussion is not only a UK or a Nordic or a German or a French, it's a European discussion, and it's a global discussion. So that's where I'm saying that the identifier question is very important, but please don't mix it with a product data discussion. And the product data discussion is how can one manufacturer, one contractor, and one client agree upon what is a product. This is what the data template standard is applying. It actually is telling you that no matter what uniclass, co-class, there are so many classifications, you can just dream about it. This standard is just saying that this is a window, this is a pipe, this is a clay masonry unit, and it defines what is what. And then it holds all the information that is linked to this construction object, which is a product in this case, so that we can take away all these data silos and that we can work together as a community. So I think my point is here is just trying to say that there is existing knowledge, there is existing solutions, but we need to be more educated on the discussion, because I think that everyone comes from their position in this discussion. So yeah, that's my input.